All right, I'm going to share some insights with you. Many of you already know this because many of you have been retired probably for as long as you've been watching me. I'm pretty sure I got YouTube followers out there that's been retired for the, I don't know how many years it's been now, 8, 9, 10 years I've been doing this. But there's things I'm discovering about myself and about how life is different for me now that I'm retired. For one thing, I don't have to rush anymore. It used to be every time I did a job I was in a big hurry because I had to get back to work and I only had a short amount of time. So I did as little as I could do, as quickly as I could do it in order to get the better majority of what I was working on in place so that I could walk away from it. A lot of people used to kind of criticize me for, I'd do a job and they say, well, you should have done this, you should have done that, you should have done this other thing. And I'm thinking, yeah, well, it's all about time and money. If you get the time, you get the money, you can do all that. Now, I may not necessarily have the money, but I have the time. I have the time to take my time and be a bit more of a craftsman and a bit less of a framer, if that makes sense. And if any of you ever done construction, you know what I mean by a framer. He's like the guy that throws the building up, and the craftsmen come in and build the cabinets and put in the kitchen and do the plumbing and do the electrical, all that stuff. Anyway, I'm finding myself not only slowing down, but locating jobs that got bypassed in the past that I can do now. For example, that window right there. That window needs to be caulked. That window was in the church across the street from Mom and Dad's house down in Georgia, Calvary Baptist Church. They changed, I think that's right, it might have been a different church, but I think it was that church. And they changed the windows out in that church, and Dad got these yellow paned windows, and I gave a bunch of them to my sister-in-law who does stained glass stuff. I may have some more somewhere in the attic or something, but I used a few of them, used a couple of them on this building. It hasn't been caulked since I've had it. In fact, I've got windows that have fallen out around here because they haven't been caulked. That's something I got the time to do now, and I certainly have the caulking. So, I mean, it's something I can. Basically, this side is finished, except for whatever else I might decide to do. And there are some things I could do, like caulking those windows. Also, the bottom of that window, where the window comes into the wood and all, it could use to have a little piece of metal shaped and put in that to turn water away when the water comes down. So that's something else I could do, and probably will do. I'm pretty sure I can locate the metal to do that with. Another thing I'm thinking about as I'm doing this is that I used to spend a lot of money doing a project because I was in a hurry, so it was quicker and easier to go out and buy something than it was to make it or fix it. And I'm realizing now I have less money, more time. I'm going to be spending more time making and fixing things rather than just going out and buying them because it's quick. And that's going to be a good thing because I'm going to enjoy doing that. It's going to give me something to do and something to enjoy and something to appreciate, a kind of work that I can feel good about. And along those lines, I was just outside having a conversation with my neighbor. He's the one that's working on the front of my house, and he was talking about he knew somebody who said they were depressed and that he knew somebody else. Well, actually, he said he spent a long time just sitting on his couch over there for a while, just didn't feel like doing anything, and now he feels like working and he's enjoying the work he's doing, and he's enjoying working on my house. He sat and looked at this house. I don't guess sat, but I mean, he lived next door to this house for years when it was deserted and when people said it was worthless and it should be torn down, and during all that time he was thinking that house could be saved, that house could be made beautiful again. Now he's doing that. He's making my house beautiful, and he was talking about that, how good it makes him feel every time he drives by and looks at this house and thinks about the work that he's done to help preserve this house and make this house pretty. Now I have a similar situation with this old mill across the street. I've been looking at that old mill for years, and I've been wishing someone would save it. And now someone has bought it, and they're wanting to put some work into it and put some time into it, and really don't have a ton of money, but they're doing kind of like what I did. They're moving in and they're starting the process of trying to save the old mill and make it into a livable, workable space. I want to help. I want to go over there and lift beams and jack up floors and do all the things I know to do, not because there's any money involved, because there isn't, but it's a satisfaction involved in helping your neighbor, in helping to save a beautiful old building, and being able to walk out and look out my front door and see that building in the future and say, I played a part in preserving that building. That's a historical, beautiful building. It's actually on the Maine Historical Society's list of endangered historical places, and it'll make me feel good to fix it, work on it, and be a part of that. So it's just a lot of things that have been playing around in my mind while I've been working on this, and I think a lot of them have to do with adjusting to being retired. You know, I haven't quite been retired a year yet, and as soon as I retired, I went to work trying to get ready for us to leave, because we were going to jump in the camper in the RV and hit the road. And then I spent some time on the road, and then we came back, and then we spent some time preparing to buy a piece of land in Georgia, and we went back, we bought that land, we put a shed on it, we came back again. We've been here now for a month. I mean, it seems like longer than that. Awful lot of things I've done in a month, but it's only been less than a month now. And I'm realizing that I can slow down, I can take a deep breath, I can spend some time doing these things. Oh, another thing, when I'm over here, I'm walking on a bunch of pieces of scrap wood. This scrap wood is pieces that I didn't throw away because I was thinking I might can use them to help trim up the bathroom. So while I'm trimming this up, I'm seeing other jobs that didn't get done, but I have the stuff laying around to do it with, and now I have the time to go back and cut those pieces of trim wood and put them into place, and, you know, do some work, finish some work that never got finished in the bathroom. All of that is making me feel good. If I was sitting on the couch looking at the internet and watching TV, I would not feel good for long. But being out here and being able to do something worthwhile and creative makes me feel good. In fact, my dad, before my dad died, he lost his ability to work. He couldn't breathe very well and didn't have enough air to do any work. And I used to go to his house down in Georgia, and I would fix things around the house while I was there. And he used to say, "I so much wish I could do what you can do. I so much wish I could do some work." He knew how to work. He loved to work, but he couldn't work because his health wouldn't let him. And I got to thinking, well, if I knew I was going to die at a certain time, I would keep working on things around here so that when I'm gone, at least they'd be fixed. That might sound stupid. People say, well, what would you do? That's what I would do. I spend as much good time with my wife and family, and other than that, I would try to fix up as much as I can of what I've been doing around here all along. Keep doing what I'm doing, only maybe doing it with a little more appreciation. I actually was out here sawing lumber yesterday and thanking God for allowing me to be healthy enough to saw lumber, and thanking Him for giving me the ability to have something to fix. So there you go.